So just got back in from the sauna, did a sauna session and some cold water exposure, and I'm feeling super ready for bed right now. But I thought I'd just touch on a little lesson for today's little video, and that's about the danger and how easy it is to fall off good momentum and good habits. Because after having a few days now of struggling a bit to keep going with this, there is some lessons that I think are super valuable, because of course this is things that I have experienced before. When I try to build a habit, it's very easy to get to the point when it's not the new thing anymore, and then it's not fun anymore. It's just a boring habit, and then something happens and you fall off. Some external unforeseen thing happens, and you're not able to do it, to continue that habit that day, and then you all of a sudden you haven't done it for 5 days, a week, and then you never start again. And that happens very easily, and it's happened with me a lot of times when I tried to build habits. But one thing that can help, and one thing that is super important, is that I have now learned, but I continue to remind myself this, because it's not something you learn once and then it stays forever. You need to keep maintaining it. Is like when you fall off, when you realize that you lost track, like you went off the path, you lost your habit. The danger is to feel very discouraged at that moment. You feel really bad with yourself, because it just makes it even worse. And it's not the right thing to do. Falling off the habit doesn't mean that you fall off the path of progress. So it's like a mind thing. Even though you lost the habit, you didn't lose the progress of becoming a better human or becoming a better version of yourself. Instead, that moment when you fell off, that's a data point to use to optimize further. So you can kind of reflect on it, like, why did you fall off? And also realize that when you get back into the habit, you now already know how easy it is to fall off. So now you will you can prepare in a better way, and and you're less likely to fall off. And if you do, it's just part of the process. You're gonna fall off many times. It takes a long time before it sticks forever, and it's probably never gonna stick 100% forever. You need to have a mental model or a mental way of thinking about this, so you can get into those habits when you fall off. At least that's what I believe, and that's something that served me a lot. And another thing that I find is great to do is having a little journal, because by having a few really simple habits that doesn't require a lot of effort and doesn't require a lot of time, and you can do it anywhere, it's very little friction. A tiny habit like that, such as writing for like 2 minutes in a journal, just writing down your progress, what you're doing, those habits are really easy to do, so you're probably not going to fall off them as easy, and they become like a foundation of feeling like you have momentum, you still have a habit going. So even if you lose some of them, as long as you have one that sticks with you and you continue to do it, that will build up your self-worth. Is not going to go to zero when you fall off one habit, and you're not going to feel like you lost all momentum. It's kind of like a foundation that stays there, that some blocks are going to fall off, but you put them back on, and you don't feel like you're starting all the way from scratch. And I do believe it's very good to have those habits, like very simple to do, minimal friction, but also very beneficial. And one thing that is super beneficial is just journaling. It has so many benefits to it. You reflect, sit down and think, and look at what you're doing, and then see if you can change something. When you put it down on paper, everything becomes way more clear than when you're just having it in your head, and you might not even know for sure what's actually going inside your head, because there's so many things. So when you have to sit down and write, it clears a lot of those thoughts, and you see much clearer. So anyways, without going too much off on a tangent, I just wanted to give some insight and maybe a lesson that someone can take use of. And yeah, habits are a great thing. Pick a few that you want to have in your life and start building them now, because it takes a long time to build a habit. I'm not sure if I believe in the 21 days to build a habit rule or saying, because it takes a long time, and you're for sure going to fall off the habit, but you need to have a system for how to get back in them.